Well, commenting on our coverage for the second day of the election and the last day, as the ballots of the polling stations have closed at 9 p.m. Cairo local time. Only a few minutes ago, we have the pleasure to be commenting on this. Our dear guest, Dr. Shenawy, the member of an international service organization. Engineer Shenawy, how did you follow the elections now? It's only a few minutes ago, and the polling stations have closed at 9 p.m. This is the second and the last day of the Senate elections 2025.
As many Egyptians did, I followed the election process, the political process, very closely. It's really a very successful one. I believe that we are going to hear percentages of women, especially women, who went for voting and went for the poll stations in order to vote in all Egypt. It has been a very successful political process until now, and I believe that we are having more successful processes all the time.
Yes. Dr. Shenawy, Engineer Shenawy, when you went to cast your ballot, what did you see? Give us an idea about the picture that you saw. What were the positive things that you saw? The security measures, also in the polling stations, they were helping people with determination, with also the elderly people with wheelchairs if they would like to receive help, and also helping even the blind people with providing them with braille cards.
This is true. We all witnessed, and it's very obvious on the TV screens everywhere, that there were queues of people standing and waiting for their turn in order to go and vote. This was made in a very good stewardship under screens, and many organizations were witnessing this. That it's very clear to people that people who needed help were given the help. As you said, the blind people,
yes,
were given cards written in Braille. In Braille, yes. People on wheelchairs were given the priority in order to go and vote. And the votes were made in total stewardship and in a very professional political way.
Yes. Dr. Shenawy, how could the outcome of the Senate elections 2025 would affect and change the political life in Egypt?
The Senate is very important, as we call it, the factory of laws. Because in its new shape, the Senate is doing a great job having professionals are members of the Senate. People are more in the Senate are...
Yes, actually, Engineer Shenawy, in the Senate and the Shura Council, we usually, the members are elderly people, wise people, people with experience.
This is true. Experience. This is
how would this add to the political life and the laws in Egypt?
This is very important.
Legislation.
Before 2013, we had, as you said, the Shuyukh, or the advisory board.
Yes.
The advisory Senate. Now we are having the Senate, which is having its role is more important. The advisory or the Shuyukh board, it was like giving advices from the outside. It wasn't involved totally in the political life like the Senate is doing now. Now the Senate is studying cases, studying the laws that are set by the government, and it is the first organization. It is the first people who take care of the laws and study the
yes.
laws with all their experience and with their age starts from 35 years.
Yes.
So many of them are elderly people and having a lot of experience in order to give their opinion in laws.
Yes.
So right now we are joined by our correspondent Ahmed Nada to the National Elections Authority, and he's joined by Councillor Ahmed El-Bendari, Executive Director of the National Elections Authority. Hello Ahmed, and hello to your guest.
Hello, Mohammed. Thank you very much. Of course, as you mentioned, I am at the headquarters of the National Elections Authority in Qasr Al-Aini with Councillor Ahmed Bendari, head of the Executive Committee of the National Elections Authority. This interview will be conducted in Arabic as usual. سيادة المستشار، شكرا جزيلا لوجود حضرتك معنا النهارده على شاشة النيل الدولية. يعني طبعا حضرتك موجود من أيام طويلة وليالي مستمرة.
Now and you are
اليوم الخميس منذ بداية الانتخابات للخارج وحتى الآن انتخابات مجلس الشيوخ في الداخل. بحمد الله
you have followed
رأيت نجاح العملية بأكملها خلال الأيام
you have followed the
الحمد لله من بداية
expatriates
في الخارج حتى
the expatriates elections and also the elections and voting process inside Egypt.
كل ما يعني تلاقي الأمور محتاجة توحد والوقوف والالتفاف حوالين الدولة، تلاقي فعلا المواطن المصري في الصدارة في كل النواحي. في الخارج كان المشهد عظيم ويدل على انتماء ووطنية حقيقية. في الداخل كان برضو المشهد ملحمة.
The participation of the participation of the citizens shows that they are really love their homeland, and this makes the voter, the scene was saying that the Egyptian citizen is aware about, also the elderly people. We were helping the elderly people to cast their ballots and also providing them with wheelchairs if they would like for this, and people with determination also, and this shows that the citizen is very keen to cast his ballot, and we hope to go on, because Egypt deserves. Your Excellency Chancellor, the last conference at 9 p.m. you were keen to follow up, and you were keen to advise them not to let the candidates go inside the polling stations. We threatened that the candidates should not enter the polling station, and we also told them to pave the way for the citizens to cast their ballots. And after this, we are going to start the counting of the votes. So that's why we warned the followers of the international arena and of Nile TV International was keen to have IDs to IDs in order to be monitoring and so providing. They did not believe that we are going to take them in tours in this is a new scene for the elections in Egypt. And we wanted them to see this on the ground. They were astonished of what it was a very positive. You have things that you are proud of, and we wanted them to see the elections with the eyes of the Egyptians. At last, the message Egypt sends to the whole world after the very well organized Senate elections voting 2027. Egypt is a very strong country having its own sovereignty, and the leading is for and the decision is for the citizens and the people. The Egyptian citizen is proud of his people. The Chancellor Ahmed Bindari, head of the National Elections Authority.
Back to you, Mohammed.
Elections Authority headquarters. Thanks for being with us. And now we're back to Amal.
Thank you very much, Mohammed. We were just following, ladies and gentlemen, Nile TV's senior correspondent Ahmed Nader conducting the interview from the National Election Authority right now with Chancellor Ahmed Bindari. Well, back to our dear guest, Engineer Shenawy, the member of an international service organization. Well, back to your experience concerning casting your ballot today.
It was a very good experience. The political process was made very clearly, and the queues were organized. The people with special needs were given special help and were being helped with the braille-made cards, with wheelchairs, and given priority. The casting your ballot was in a very individual way and in a good stewardship, and this was my casting the ballot was made in a good way.
Yes. Engineer Shenawy, we just listened to the interview with each other for the Chancellor Ahmed Bindari. How did you follow it?
I followed that we finished a very successful political process.
And very well organized.
Yes, very well organized. And as I said, I always look for numbers, so I expect, and we don't have the percentages now.
But we can see the pictures and the videos.
Yes,
tell us that
organized.
there is a high turnout. And actually, Chancellor Ahmed Bindari, in yesterday's press conferences, he said that there were no any kind of breaches of obstacles that faced judges while the monitoring the voting process, but there was some complaints of some polling stations crowded with many citizens, and that's why he said that today they are going to provide more employees to monitor or to handle the entrance and organize the entrance of the citizens and the voters casting their ballots. What does this show? How do you see the importance, and why is this high turnout in your point of view?
At the beginning, I'd like to give a big applause to the leader of this of the polling, the elections that he made. This modification and put more employees. This is being flexible, is having a good leadership at the elections and at the stations. This is very important, and having the feedback from the poll stations is very important too. The big number, in my opinion, big number of Egyptian citizens who went to the poll station mean that people are keen of having better life, having better domestic influence of the Senate
Yes.
on the economy and everything, and having also a good influence and having the Senate making impact on our international policy and the politics.
Yes.
People are having they are so much Egyptian. So
Yes.
they want the better
Loves,
for Egypt.
yes, as the Chancellor was just
This is
saying,
true.
that the people really are honest and love their homeland. Also, the high turnout shows how the people are keen to cast their ballot, and they are afraid of any certain parties to control the elections, isn't it?
This is true, because we went through this situation before.
Yes.
We had our country under the control of people who are not like us, not
Yes.
taking our country to
Yes.
a non-Egyptian atmosphere. We overcame this, and now people are afraid that their country is not doesn't become Egyptian again. This was in less than 1 year, but it was an experience that printed in our hearts that Egypt is for Egyptians, and for we should have an Egyptian atmosphere as you're having now in the studio. The flag is everywhere.
Yes.
We're having the country colors everywhere,
Yes.
and people are looking forward.
Even you, Engineer Shenawy, we didn't ask you to wear this, but
This
it has
is
the
true.
colors of the flags of Egypt, the flag of Egypt, actually. Thank you so much for this.
You're most welcome. We all felt in
This,
the past 2 days that we restored Egypt, and we are keen to have our Egypt as it is, with no other influences, and the Senate will help in that, and will
Yes.
help in setting the laws.
Yes. Some people or political analysts usually say we have a large number of parties here in Egypt. This is, they see that it's a negative. Others see this a very positive side. The role played by the Egyptian parties also in spreading awareness for and making the citizens participate and take their freedom of the will and casting their ballots. How did you see this? Not only the parties, the non-governmental organizations also a role in the elections.
The parties, and having a lot of parties, I see it positive, because people say their opinion and are keen to have a part of the country and a part of their opinion heard. So
Yes.
hearing their opinion is having democracy in our country, and this is very positive.
Yes.
NGOs help in empowering people in the country, empowering women, helping people to have better jobs, giving them vocational service, helping them to have IDs for having jobs. And this is very important in the election process too.
Yes.
People to have their IDs ready, and have their votes, and have their they are heard.
Yes. Yes. Engineer Shenawy, also, I would not speak about the participation of women, because usually every elections here in Egypt, whether presidential elections, referendum, the parliament elections, and now the Senate elections, we see long queues of Egyptian women standing to cast their ballot, even taking their children with them. How did you see this picture?
Egypt, in our culture, and from the very beginning, since the pharaonic culture, the Egyptian woman is a strong one, and she is empowered. Expecting certain errors, and it's over. Now our leadership is taking good care of the women. empowering women, we are having equality, which is almost people are equal in having jobs, in salaries, in all the living standards. So women go for the election and they take their children because they feel their responsibility towards their country. They know their responsibility and that they are individuals, equal individuals that have to go and vote and take care of their country and make sure that we're having economic development
Yes.
of our country and better future.
Yes. Well, back to my colleague Mohammed Abdelmenem. Mohammed.
Thanks, Amal. We're joined by Sahar Talawi from Alexandria, our correspondent there. Sahar, could you brief us about the second and final day of the elections, please?
Yes, Muhammad, reporting from Alexandria, covering the Egyptian Senate election for 2025, and it's the second and the final day. Since the early hours of the morning, we've witnessed a steady turnout of voters, including seniors and persons with disabilities, who have been met with the well-organized facilities and clear logistic arrangements. The ground floor polling rooms wheelchairs and the ground voting cards are available, and ensuring the accessibility to the inclusion of all the citizens. So, you, Muhammad?
So, Sahar, what happens next after the closure of voting polls? Do we start counting right after that?
Yes, Muhammad. During the elections, the National Elections Authority introduced the ballots in sign language and the drawing to allow for more accessibility. The Shenawy results will be announced on 12th of August after the closure, and if a runoff is necessary, campaigning will resume same day. While it holds an advisory role, the Senate, rather than the legislative power, the Senate also contributes to shaping the public policy and reviewing the legislative. So all voters were very keen, and they have the sense of responsibility to share this current event.
So would governorates announce results of the Senate elections maybe by midnight, or do we have to wait till the morning?
Sorry, can you repeat the question, please, because I didn't hear it?
Do you think that governorates or the National Elections Authority would start announcing the results of the elections maybe by midnight, or do we have to wait till morning?
We don't think so, but some people said that the councils of the committees or from the polling stations maybe will announce the results today night.
Okay, thank you very much. That was Sahar Talawi from Alexandria talking about the last day of the Senate elections 2025. And now back to Amal. Back to you, Amal.
Thank you, Mohammed. Back to our dear guest, Engineer Shenawy. Well, Engineer Shenawy, we spoke about the role of women in the elections. What about the youth? We saw also queues, long queues of youth participating from the age of 18 until 25.
There are a lot of awareness among youth, political awareness. Many of them are involved in political life, and that's why they go and vote. Some of them join parties. We have many parties in Egypt. Some of them are individuals, and youth are very interested in politics, and they go and vote.
Yes. Back to my colleague Mohammed. Mohammed?
So, back again, we're joined with our correspondent Nermeen Abdurrahman from Mansoura the Qahliya Governorate. Hello, Nermeen. Would you brief us about the final day of voting?
Hello, Mohammed. A very good evening. Yes, right you are. I'm talking from Mansoura, the capital of the Qahliya Governorate. And exactly at 9 p.m. Cairo local time, all the polling stations are closed their gates, but throughout the day, throughout the 12 hours, from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., the citizens continue to flock to polling stations all over the governorate to cast their ballots. And I was keen to ask whether the voters or those responsible for organizing the whole process, if there were any irregularities which took place throughout the day. And thank God they all said that all went that smooth and regular. And I also was keen to inspect a number of other polling stations through Mansoura and also in the countryside in some villages affiliated to Mansoura, and I found the very same image. It really sends a very civilized image to the whole world that the Egyptians are very much keen to practice this constitutional right and to form the coming Senate. Mohammed.
That was Nermeen Abdurrahman from Mansoura, the Qahliya Governorate. Thanks, Nermeen. And now back to Amal.
Thank you, Mohammed, my dear colleague. Now back to our guest, Engineer Shenawy. Engineer, for 2 days now the Egyptians were inside Egypt casting the ballots, and we saw a high turnout, and also on the 1st and the 2nd of August Egyptian expatriates were casting their ballots and were keen with high turnout to cast their ballots outside Egypt, and even some families, Egyptian families, traveled from one city to another in order to cast their ballots in the city or the country they are living in abroad. What is the message that the Egyptian citizens, whether expatriates or living inside Egypt, what is the message behind this high turnout and participation in casting the ballots, the message they are sending to the whole world?
Egyptians, whether they are living inside Egypt or outside Egypt, are very Egyptians. As we said from the beginning, this is it's proved. It's not just words that we're saying. People traveled from country to country, from city to city in order to vote. Especially the people living abroad made a great effort in order to go to the embassy or to the
consulate.
Yes, the consulates and the polling stations where they can vote. They are not forced to do this.
Yes.
They do this with love. They do this for their country. They do this for a better future, for electing the Senate in order
to be a role model for the children, also the coming generations.
This is true.
The young.
It goes like that, as you said. The grown-ups are role models for the young ones who go with their parents and see how they suffered in order to go and have their political rights done.
Sir. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I thank very much my dear colleague Mohammed Abdelmenem. Thank you, Mohammed.
Thank you, Emma.
And I thank my dear guest today coming to us. Thank you very much for joining us today, actually. Engineer Dr. Amany Shenawy, chemical engineer and member of the International Service Organization. I really had the pleasure to have this interview with you. Ladies and gentlemen, please stay tuned for more updates on Nile TV International.